Hey, deserving listeners, Love is Blind, UK. Let's watch.
Our conversations flow, yeah. Do you know my only apprehension with you? I don't know why I kind of have this, gut feeling you're telling me what I want to hear. Your answers are great, but I'm like, is he just telling me what I want to hear?
All right, that's interesting. So to catch you up, I've been watching for a while. I've been taking notes. So to catch you up on what I know thus far, there's been one couple that has gotten engaged. They usually do that on this show where I think that they take one couple and condense their story because they're in the pods for 10 days. I don't know about Love is Blind UK, but I imagine it's a similar format. And so even though one couple might take 10 days to get engaged, they condense it into the first episode because I think they want to give the viewers something to grab onto in the beginning. But anyway, so we had Steven and Sabrina. They seem like a good couple. Hard to know, of course. I was taking notes and I noted that there doesn't seem to be any Matthew. By the way, I have COVID, so if it's mainly a congestion thing, so you might hear that in my voice. The COVID that I had, this is the second time I've had it last year, and it was really bad last year. It was rough. I didn't leave my bedroom for a few days. I just laid there going, ugh. But this time it's just a lot of stuffiness, and I'm social distancing from everyone, including my wife, which sucks. But anyway, she doesn't have it yet, which is good. So I was noting that there doesn't seem to be any Matthew character, there's no cast member that seems to jump out, aside from that guy, which his name is Sam. And he's no Matthew, seemingly, but I did note, let's see, what was I writing about him? I couldn't tell if he's conceited or not, I guess is the word for it. At least in terms of the edit, he seemed like maybe he was conceited, maybe he was shallow, but they could be editing it that way. Also, regarding what Jasmine is saying here, because she would know Sam way better than we would, right? And for her to say that, I think that says something. And I was picking up on that his answers seem like he's reading from a cue card. But I was also thinking, how would I know watching the show if he's being genuine or not? Maybe some people, I would imagine, since they know they're being filmed all the time, it could affect how you are communicating. Plus, they're not just in a room together, obviously. And when they're speaking, I've learned this from the production crew, that they are speaking into a microphone and then they hear the other person's voice through a speaker. So even though their pods might be just separated by a wall, they could be in another country because they're basically just talking on speakerphone. And if you've ever talked on speakerphone, you know that it stunts your communication. It makes it not as fluid. I don't know if there's a time delay. I'm guessing that there isn't in the way that speakerphone can have, or just phones can have. Anyway, so to have Jasmine say, I feel like your surface, what did she say again?
I feel like our conversations flow, yeah. Do you know my only apprehension with you? I don't know why I kind of have this, gut feeling you're telling me what I want to hear.
Yeah, so what she wants to hear. Yeah, and maybe he truly feels those feelings, but he feels like he has to say it in a certain way. I don't know. It's just hard to tell. Is he being genuine or is he not? I guess maybe time will tell, or I don't know. But at the very least for Jasmine, it's just not feeling quite right. And that would be a bummer if he was being real and genuine and it just wasn't coming across. Plus, you don't have the nonverbals to take in and help gauge if someone is being genuine, that kind of stuff. It's just hard to know. Now, we do know that, or we suspect that people go on the show not because they genuinely want to meet someone, but because they want to be famous or they want to boost their Instagram or something. It's possible that he's one of those people. I don't know. But that seems to, I think, to be what Jasmine is saying.
Your answers are great, but I'm like, is he just telling me what I want to hear?
This is just getting ridiculous. Should I just give up? Maybe I'm meant to be with no one. What am I?
Yeah, and maybe there was a different way she could have said it. She could have said it more tentatively, like, I don't know if it's just me or I'm paranoid or it's this talking through a wall thing, but I am having a hard time really feeling that you're genuine. You might be genuine, but I don't know if I feel it. Can you convince me? Or that'd be really hard to do. But he's frustrated, and if he is being genuine, even if he's partially being genuine, that would be really frustrating to have someone say such a blanket statement, because they've been talking for a while. But if he isn't being genuine, then I guess he deserves this. I don't know.
What am I supposed to do? Just sit here and say that's not, I'm this? I don't understand now. I'm getting a bit lost. This is just ridiculous. Everything I'm telling you is real. Mm-hmm. And if you're willing to go on that journey with me, then I think you would be happy. I really do believe that.
You know what, Sam?
They're editing this, of course, but his response doesn't instill confidence. Maybe he is genuine. Maybe he really does like her. But in terms of the edit, what we saw, I'm just trying to think what one would say. Like, I can see how you would say that because I'm a bit nervous. And when I get nervous, I am a bit shut down in my communication. I don't know, maybe something like that. Or maybe he could say, no, I've been thinking about you all the time. I haven't felt like this. But the other possibility is maybe he's genuine in that he likes her and there's promise there for him, but he's not fully in love with her yet. So, but there's a way to, in terms of the edit, there's something, he could have, even if it was that, he could have said something like, well, I don't know if I'm not a good communicator or something, but I've been thinking about you a lot. I'm not completely crossed the finish line in terms of engagement yet. Maybe that's in our future. I don't even know if you would say yes or no, but I haven't felt like this in a long time, and I feel very connected to you. I think about you all the time. I like you because of this, this, and this. I don't know. Maybe that would have been more convincing. But what he said was, I think you would be really happy with me. And, sometimes when people say that, it comes across as romantic. But sometimes, and maybe the way he said it, maybe I'm just biased against him, it comes across like, you're really going to love me because I'm a catch. I don't know. Like, I don't think I've ever said that to my wife. Like, you're really happy with, I can't imagine saying something like that. But I think I've heard people say that sort of thing on the show and otherwise. And I've not always thought, ew. Do you feel that as well with him?
Keeping my cards close to my chest because I don't want to get hurt. I'm guarded.
Of course.
Okay, I think that's better for her to say. I don't know. You probably have watched ahead. You know if he's a good guy or a bad guy. I don't know. If he gets dumped completely off the pods, then we might not know anything about him. But given the context, I think for her, I think it would make sense for her to be a little bit more tentative. And so she's saying, hey, I'm guarded. I've been hurt before. Maybe that's why I'm not really believing what you're saying. So maybe I'm wrong. I think that's a good thing to say. Even if you're pretty sure and you're fishing for something, I think it's important to throw that out there because, there'd be no way to know for sure if he was being genuine.
I have doubts in a sense that he's only answering the questions to make me happy. Okay. Bye, Sam.
Bye, Jazz.
Bye. I don't want a surface level conversation. No, it's giving me immature vibes.
Yeah, I can't tell. I don't know Sam very well. She knows him a lot better than we would. But I did write down something he said earlier that reminded me of Jeremy from season 6. I can't tell. I don't want to accuse him of anything like that. But I wrote down, because he said, I'm just a big kid. I just want to be a kid. I just like to be a kid. And I immediately thought, oh, didn't Jeremy say something like that? Certainly Jeremy acted like that, right? And that's not a red flag, because someone could say that and say, I just like to joke around. I like to have a good time. But at the same time, they have depth and they know when to be appropriately funny and not. And, they meet up, they match with the right person. It could be a match made in heaven. So maybe it's a bit of a yellow flag. Why is it a yellow flag? I mean, if we use Jeremy as an example, I'm sure it's more complicated than this, but the way that from season 6, Jeremy and Laura, in the end, it appeared that he had an abusive streak, allegedly, right? That he was extremely insecure, and when there were threats to his attachment, romantic relationships, he would become threatening and aggressive, allegedly. And that can be coupled with an immaturity because your personality hasn't developed in a number of arenas. You're still undifferentiated. You're still stuck in a place of early childhood when the original abandonment or betrayal or abuse occurred. That can happen, unfortunately, for us. And as a part of that, then a certain immaturity or approach to life or way of attaching to others can be noticeable. Is this making sense? Basically, what I'm saying is that for people that are saying on a date, I like to be a kid, I'm just a big kid, I don't know the percentage, but maybe it's a 20% chance that's pointing towards a red flag that someone has dated repeatedly and noticed that they are criticized by others because they are immature or not grown up or like a kid. And they learn that they have to get out ahead of that by testing the waters with people and saying, what do you think about dating someone that's kind of like a kid? I think a lot of the things that people are saying in the pods as they're dating has to do with that. They've learned, I need to find someone that likes this side of me. And so they get out ahead of that. They don't say that. Someone like Sam wouldn't say, by the way, my previous girlfriends really disliked what they would say is I'm very immature and like a kid. I'm not necessarily going to say that. What they're going to say is they're going to say, I like to be a kid. And plus, they might not see it as a deficit in their personality. They might still identify with it as a plus. And, it certainly can be, but they could be defensively trying to say, hey, to the people who broke up with them or criticized them, they could be like, well, that's just you. I should be allowed to be this way. And they really haven't reckoned with the problem yet, if that makes sense. I feel like I'm running in psychobabble circles. But yeah, it's interesting that she says immature, because I remember thinking that it's like he wants to be a big kid. So I wonder if that's all part of his trauma and the way that he acts it out. But let's see how he reacts to being dumped here.
In the air with Jasmine, it's not sitting right, and I don't know what it is. I want to try and break down some more barriers and find a little bit more about her, because she could potentially be the one. I was looking forward to this. You? Go on.
Okay, so there's been a number of things that have been happening. Nothing that really provokes me to react. I will say, though, that the cast members are older than the United States version. In my head, or actually I looked at my notes from previous seasons. I organized my notes last season, I think, and I quickly looked at everyone's ages, and the Love Is Blind UK, there's a lot of people in their early to mid 30s, whereas in the United States versions, people are, I would say the median age would be like 5 to 7 years younger. And I think that's a good thing in that they're older, because I think younger people although they might want to get married, they're not really into it. They're if you're 25 and you're really looking for someone to marry, you might be thinking, yeah, that would be great, but I've got time. So having a people and certainly people in their 30s are still young. I still consider them to be quite young. There's a lot of time ahead. But when you're 33, I think generally speaking, you're a lot more ready to settle down. So it could compel people and motivate people to really give it a shot. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. But then I think I was looking at my notes. Milton was 24, and he seems to be doing well. Time will tell, but he got married anyway. Anyway, so right now it looks like Jasmine is going to dump Sam.
I got a lot of clarity on who I have the strongest connection with and who I feel the most safe with. But I just feel my connection's stronger elsewhere.
Yeah, totally understand it, respect it.
I just have to follow my heart and open myself up to just one person.
Yeah, I respect it.
Okay, so things are going relatively well so far. She's being a little vague, but, I think he understands what she's saying.
But, not to sugarcoat anything, I genuinely respect you and value you as a person.
Yeah, you too.
I just feel there's just a better fit.
Cool.
I'm so sorry.
I really hope that it works out, all right?
Okay, yeah. He's visibly upset. As I say that, at first I'm thinking, well, he's upset because he genuinely liked her, but then you wonder if he was faking, he could still be upset, right? So it's hard to know. We don't have any overt reason to believe that he's faking it just to go on the show, but anyway, so as far as breakups go, on the show, I think this is going pretty well. She says she's sorry. She's saying nice things. I think she could, it's up to her, but she could have laid it on a little thicker and said, hey, I really like this about you. I really like that about you. I felt a connection. This is really hard for me, and I feel so bad. And she said sort of topic sentences along those lines. I'm sorry. I value you as a person. But I also think there's a possibility Jasmine doesn't respect him as a person. So there's that. But anyway, so she's dumping him, and he's being polite and saying, well, I hope things work out. Let's see how things progress from here.
Okay.
Cool.
What just happened? Did he throw the goblet, the gold goblet? Don't disrespect the goblet, you. Yeah, he threw it. What do I think about that? On one level, I think, well, he just got dumped and it's upsetting. On the other level, shades of Jeremy, where he would, in humiliation or hurt, become physical. This isn't a violent act, but it's a physical act, right?
Hey, you don't look happy, bro.
You okay, mate? Oh, come here, bro.
You good? No. He's gone. That's the worst experience.
Okay, so he seems sad. I don't know if those are real tears or not. I don't know why I'm suspecting him to be faking, but there's sadness there, pain. It's kind of visceral pain, it looks like. Rejection, humiliation, attachment loss. There seems to be, it's normal, but it's interesting, notable. good to see support, hugging, and vulnerability. Always good to see.
30 seconds. Just give me 30 seconds and tell me.
Okay. It's normal too. That's not an accurate depiction, but he's hurt, and that's normal. But he's saying, I don't think it was just 30 seconds. Maybe it was. But yeah, he's saying, that was pretty brief. But he walked out on her. If he would have stayed, it looked like she would have continued to talk about it. So that's not accurate. But, he's upset. He's hurt.
I didn't see that coming. Oh, boy. Oh, God, I really fucking valued that girl.
Oh. Yeah, I ended things with Son.
Oh, how are you feeling?
I feel bad for him.
Oh, God.
I mean, he took it well.
I'm an absolute mug. I'm an idiot.
So there's been some slang, some UK slang, mug. So by context, I'm guessing that means some kind of putz, some kind of idiot. It's a bad term. And then he says, I'm an idiot, and his friend says, you're not an idiot. Yeah, it's normal. There's nothing abnormal here, but it is in a particular category of reacting that has the throwing of the glass. It's not completely out of the ordinary. Is that some indication of something, the tip of the iceberg? I don't know. And also that visceral pain, and also the wanting to get out of the room. Again, totally normal. Who wants to stick around and just continue to be dumped more and more? It's like, okay, I hear you. I'm out of here. You could even think of it as a favor to the other person of just like, okay, I will release you from having to take care of me. I hear you, and I've just got to take care of myself. You bounce. All right. And then you mug and you idiot. I'm an idiot. I don't know, but that's a yellow flag at least of how people made him feel, or maybe even exact statements that were said to him. Often when we go through difficult moments, our self-talk, maybe even verbalizing it, is a potential indication for the internalizations that we have had. You can think about it for yourself. The last time that you made a mistake, like you got an offender bender, or you forgot an appointment, or you dropped something, or you came out of the bathroom with toilet paper coming out of your pants or something. What did you say to yourself? What did you think? What sentences ran through your mind? Did you think, oh, that's funny, or you idiot, or whatever? It could be an indication of the messages that you were given. You're an idiot for making a mistake. You're a mug for making a mistake. Instead of, well, everyone makes mistakes. Or, well, sometimes we don't get what we want. He said earlier that this was very unexpected. He very much thought that Jasmine was going to pick him. He knew that Jasmine was into someone else, but he still thought that she was going to pick him. So on one hand, you could think, well, that's self-centered and arrogant. On the other hand, I think that's common because when you're in the pods and you're connecting with someone, it's hard to imagine that they're connecting with someone else in a similar way, or even more so, right? You just think, we have a connection here. There's no way that you're connecting with someone else. Otherwise, all of my gauge of my heart is wrong. It feels real to me. And it was real, but you can also connect with multiple people. So I don't know. Maybe because if you've seen him beyond this point, maybe there's been other indications. But I don't know. I'm just noticing. But for the most part, I'm just seeing someone that got dumped and it hurts. This at least points in the direction that it was genuine. But he could also be faking this. He could also be saying I'm an idiot for trying to convince her to get engaged to me because I just want to go on to the next phase, and it backfired. I was hoping that this show would make me look like a stud, but now I look like a mug. I don't know. I feel bad for him.
You're not an idiot.
I'm an idiot because I'm fucking enjoying chats with her and feelings for her. She was such an amazing girl.
What do you think you're doing here?
Mate, I got bad news. Really bad news. I didn't see it coming, but I got rejected after 10 seconds.
So now it's 10 seconds. Yeah. It sucks. It sucks to get dumped. Even if he was only halfway into it, it sucks. It's humiliating. It's hurtful. Yeah.
I whittled it down to 2 amazing girls and one's gone. So beggars can't be choosers, eh? You know what I mean? Like, unfortunately, it's the end of the road between me and Jasmine. But on the other hand, it's given me some clarity to understand Nicole is the one for me.
So on one level, you think, oh, so it's that easy that now all of a sudden you're into Nicole because Jasmine broke up with you. That doesn't bode well. That doesn't make it seem as though you're really into Nicole. We've seen this before on the show, right? Sometimes this goes well. If he ends up with Nicole, then sometimes it is a problem later on, right? In that it kind of seems like the Sams of the world aren't really into the Nicoles of the world, right? I'm just trying to think, wow, I won't go down that rabbit hole. But then there were times when people went with their second choice and things worked out, like with Lydia. She was originally into Uche, right? And then she switched to Milton. And you're thinking, well, this isn't going to work. Lydia's not really into him. So we don't know. At least I don't know. You might know if you've watched ahead. But the way he said that anyway, and you could imagine him, it's okay. So if I give him charity, he could be saying, and what's in his heart is, yeah, there was Nicole and there was Jasmine, and maybe they're still midweek, right? He's not in a place where he's thinking, I have to choose yet. He's just thinking, I'm going to continue to have these dates and figure things out. And then he's like, well, Jasmine is my number 1, Nicole is my number 2, but I'm really not sure. Maybe Nicole, I don't know. And then he gets dumped by Jasmine, and it really hurts him. And then he is thinking, well, Nicole was a very close second, and I'm really into Nicole. So, and you could see someone, upon being dumped, saying, well, this indicates that Nicole and I are meant to be. On the other hand, it also kind of looks like he's just looking for someone to get engaged to.
At least my one is amazing and I want to marry her, and that's all that matters. I'm going to be a happy man because I know that the girl that I've got.
Wow, so it was a fast transition from, oh my God. Well, and the way he phrased it, he would say, I really valued her. It's an interesting word. People can love or have the words for love, whatever they want. But anyway, so pretty quickly, it's, I'm going to marry Nicole. Is Nicole into anyone else? Let me look at my notes here. Nicole is also into Ben. So maybe Nicole goes with Ben? I don't know. Anyway, so with Sam, he is thinking, I'm going to marry Nicole, and he's saying that. So is this indication of fakery, or is this him having a legitimate allocation of his heart because he was already into Nicole to begin with? Anyway, or is this his way of defending against the humiliation and the pain of just like, I'm not going to think about Jasmine, I'm just going to think about me and Nicole, being, sort of a version of a rebound situation? All right, that does it for that episode. By the way, when I sat down to watch this show, originally I was just going to make all these videos for members only. But as I started watching it, I'm thinking, I think there's a lot to get into. And so I decided that I would have most of these reaction videos free for everyone and only occasional episodes of my reaction to Love is Blind UK only for members. So I hope that's not confusing. I haven't really done something like this before. And by the way, with regular Love is Blind, I don't ever plan on doing this in terms of the actual show. Like with season 6, with all the regular show, it was free on YouTube. But if I did like an interview or like the survey episodes, those were only for members. So I just thought I'd throw that out there so everyone knows where I'm coming from. Again, I'll tell you the full story. So I woke up this morning and I had all day to work, and I thought, okay, I should probably make some member videos. And I thought, and I was in the shower and I was brainstorming, like, what do I do? And I had this idea that I would rewatch Love Is Blind season 1 just as a curiosity, and not include reaction to every single scene like I did the first time. But I thought it'd be interesting to revisit season 1 because with my new perspective or whatever, I don't know. I just thought it'd be kind of interesting, and I thought I would have that be a member-only video series. And then I called my wife on the phone because I have COVID right now. She was upstairs, so I called her on the phone and ran that by her, and she was saying, oh yeah, you could do that. You could also watch Love Is Blind UK. I didn't even know it was out, but she said there's a number of people emailing saying to watch it, and I was thinking, oh yeah. So I sat down to have all of these be member only, and as I'm watching, I'm thinking, I think this is going to be a lot more episodes than would be only for members, if that makes any sense. I don't know if people care about this kind of thing, but I just thought I would tell people my thought process. Maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong, maybe it's a good idea, maybe it's a bad idea. I don't know. So I hope it's okay with you, and everyone out there, please take care of yourself because you deserve it. You really, really do.